Hey beekeeps, I'm out here putting on cleats on these boxes. Putting these cleats on. I had 14. I got 14 of them, but I put 4 out back. Use them as super. So what I did, this is the second to the last thing I do on these boxes. Second to last. I put all these screens on here. I'll show you how you do those. I've got a little bit left out of a 10-foot roll. And I thought, what the heck, I better just throw some boxes out back. Plain boxes with no screens to see if I need them for supers. So you can use these for bottom box. Of course, once you put the cleats on like this, it's pretty much a permanent deal, sort of. I mean, if you got in a real pinch, you could take this off. It's only held on with 2 screws, these cleats. I throw them on here and I pin it here and here with a brad, 1.25" brad, and then I pilot these. I'm all set up over here on the bench to do that. And yeah, so we're tuning these up. So this is the last thing I do. I set my chop saw up for 8.5 inch is what this is, and I burnt out 22 in case I have a break, crack or something. I burned out 22 of them over here. So these will go on. I'm not staining these. This is that kind of a walnut stain that I got. I got a gallon of it, real cheap. It was half price basically. It was in the Oops Paint division. This stuff is strong smelling. Woo, doggy. I let it sit outside till the rainstorm started coming, and then I put it in here, and I put this fan over here and let it blow all night. And it dried them out pretty nice. I mean, they can still smell a little bit, but I've done tons of these, and with a stain that smells like this is a strong chemical, you know, oil-based smell, and the bees don't care. They love it. What I wanted to show you here, when you're doing here's another little trick too. This one here had quite a gap on it. This particular one here, and it has some big knot holes here, big knot holes. So what you do in that scenario, just grab the old Gorilla Tape, and you Gorilla Tape it. The bees won't even touch that stuff. They don't like it. They won't even, they'll probably put a coat of wax over it. But I sealed up these 2 big cracks in here. So you're gonna have a few cracks here and there, knot holes. I did one, I noticed I had a knot hole that big, daylight coming through. So I just came on the outside and put a piece of tape, and I came on the inside and put a piece of tape. That stuff will stay there forever. But what I wanted to show you, there's a little trick here on these, putting this wire on. Wear gloves. Wear gloves. Get you some of these at Harbor Freight. Yeah, Hardy gloves. Hardy gloves. Get you some of those. They're cheap. This stuff will eat you up. You'll be bleeding like a stuck pig. You play with this stuff much, okay? Don't be bleeding like a stuck pig. Take your roll of wire. Put your box on the bench here. Right? Have your stapler right here. I'm right-handed. So I pull that wire over, and I just line up an edge. Let the rest of the roll flop over there, okay? Out of your way. Pull it over and line up this edge right here. The rest is going to hang wild down here. Bring it over and to where it's lining up here and lining up here basically. You could let it overlap a little if you want. You're going to come back and trim this with your bull nose. So I staple it here, hold it down, staple it here. Now here's the trick. Don't come here and start stapling. This is flush to the edge right here. Here's where the trick comes in. This is flush with this edge right here. Don't start stapling this side. Turn your stapler around while you have tension on this wire because it's all hanging over there, see? You've got a little pull on this wire. See, that's tight on there. start stapling this edge this way, your gun almost rests on this side over here, and staple it here. The reason is, if you start stapling here, this will try to push inside the box, and you'll get a kink in your wire, and you won't get it tight. That's a Steveo tip. Staple this side first, with the roll hanging over there, the tension of the roll hanging over there. Staple this, then come back. Now you got this pin. Staple it here, and then come along here. When you're done, take your hammer, tap down each one of these. Tap down each one of these. Now I'm going to show you what I do to put the cleats on. Very simple. I used to let one side cantilever. I don't anymore. I just bring it up. Bring it up here, take my brad nailer and hit it down here on the thin wood, like so. Now it's held in place. Now where the fat wood is over here at the ends, you got your 2x material. Come right down through the center of that. Just eyeball it. Eyeball it right down through the center of that. You know how thick it is, right? Already sweating out here. Summer's here, guys. Summer's here. Let's get her done. You're gonna sweat, okay? The very last thing we're gonna do to this box, I don't have them in stock yet, but they're coming. They're on the way. I'll be here in a day or two. The different colored disc. They're real cheap, they're plastic. They have nicer ones. You could probably get creative and come up with your own, but for the price, I got 32 coming with 12 different colors. Plastic disc, I think they were, I forget the diameter. But you've got a, I think a 7/8. I bought a 7/8. I bought a 7/8 paddle blade to drill the holes. I'll be boring the holes in these things down in here somewhere. I'm going to put the disc on, then I'll get a magic marker, make a dot where I want the hole. Yeah, that's a done box right there. I don't do anything here. Those staples will last a long time. If they don't, I can always come back and slam some more in there. But yeah, that's a done box right there. See, I got a little daylight in that. It's not enough to worry about. The bees will propolis that thing right up. No problem. These will go out back when I get about 4 of them on there, and then I wheel them out back. Yeah, I got 10 of these to do. I'll knock these out in a jiffy. Let's go out back. I want to show you something on that. I was sitting here taking a break the other day, and I had that cloak board laying there, that homemade one with the yardsticks. I got to looking at that thing, and I discovered an oopsie, so I retuned it. Let me show you what I did on that. All right, guys, a little quickie update on my ant moat. My ant moats are working fantastic, guys. Fantastic. We had a storm come in here. I got 2 inches of rain now. last night, and everything's looking hunky-dory here. Bees are looking good, I had one. I got another ant moat scenario here. No ants, none. So do that. I picked up, I'm going to try some pie tin. That flashing is very expensive. And I think soda cans will work just fine. The aluminum Coke cans. Open up a Coke can. It's about the height of that can is about like that. Use Coke cans on there, it'd be fine. You just need a little hat on there, about a 4-inch square of aluminum. But these are working. This is a Martin idea, and it's working excellent. Lots of bees, and they're drinking syrup like crazy, and they are also now hitting my pollen feeder. The other day I showed you where I put the bottle up there to show them where it's at. Yeah. So anyway, they're a little pissy right now. Yes, they're a little pissy right now. Me wandering around here just took one in the back of the head and on my finger. But we got to get ant moats on this stuff. They're kicking my ass, these damn ants, the bull ants. I fed them. They're hungry too, guys. That whole bucket, it was full yesterday. They sucked it down. I had a die out over here, and the bull ants kicked my ass. This stand right here, that hive there, they took out one of mine. It had 2 nice full sheets of solid brood on it too. They took it out. So I got to get ant moats on this. I got to take all these bees off of here, which is no biggie. I'll have everything ready. I set them off on the ground and install the ant moats and set the rails right back on. No big deal. And that timber there, I think this is I think I put pressure treat on that. See, the bull ants are running around here. There's no brood in these. Are empty frames in here, so that they're not here. They ate what they tore into everything, and now they're not here, of course. But they're constantly checking and testing these hives, and if they find out they can get in, they're going to slaughter you. So these are coming on ant moats. Yes, and I'm probably going to rig up more of these stands. I love these stands. It just consists of a concrete block. I've got them blocks everywhere. It takes 4 blocks to do it. I mean, some of these are on 2 block high, and actually that's a pretty comfortable working height. This one happens to be on 3 blocks high, and this is pretty comfortable working height also. Whatever feels good for you. Plus, if you're up to at least 2 block, that gives you a little bit of daylight under there for weeds growing up. Yes, and I'm going to start putting Grub-X, Scott's. I got some orders. Scott's Grub-X is going to be scattered underneath all these hives. Scott's Grub-X, so check that out. It's supposed to work very well. Let's look at this cloak board a minute. By the way, guys, this syrup tank is on ant moats, and they have not gotten into it at all. And what I do now, after they were crawling up the wall. These things are smart. They can figure stuff out. They're almost like bees, these bull ants. Bees figure things out, and so do these big bull ants. They were crawling up this wall, coming down this cord, and I even wrapped this cord with a terry towel and saturated it with roach, ant and roach killer. And they still bridged it. It seems to like they drink it, maybe like vino or something to them. They were drinking this stuff. Bull ants could care less on this, but they don't want to cross. They don't want to cross that bridge. There's motor oil. There's motor oil in those cat food cans, and they don't want to cross it. So that works. Okay, guys, I'm in here in the old grafting shack here, and hopefully here for too much longer we'll get this up and running. But what I wanted to show you here, I have this is my slide that goes in this cloak board right here. This is my slide that goes in. But what I noticed on it, first of all, it was kind of flimsy. It was kind of flimsy for the simple fact that that was only one thickness of yardstick. All right. And what I noticed when I slid it in, it was just hitting this lip here. And so I held it up to the light where this cloak board slid in place, and I saw daylight. And I said, no, 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 no. I thought it was a snug fit. It isn't. So what I did, I went and got some more yardstick, and I put one on this side, on all four sides on the bottom. All four sides on the bottom. That tightened it up. This one was already here. But what I saw was daylight coming in his crack here. That's no good, because you want a separate colony. When you put the slide in, you don't want any communication. You don't want any communication from the bottom hive to the top portion. If they're sitting there touching tongues, they're communicating, and this is no longer a separate colony, I don't think. So to alleviate that, I took another, and it was a stiffener too, put that on there, but I cantilevered over slightly here, as you can see, that underside. Well, that shut off all that daylight under there. Now when I put my slide in, I did it on both sides. I did it on both sides, so now there's a good 1/4 inch that my board is overlapping now, my slide. Also, what I did, so I could easily pull the slide in and out when it's on the hives, I drilled an 1/8 inch hole right here, 1/8 inch hole, and I double lined some B50 bowstring material, which I have gobs of, and that will sit there forever. I put a little ball knot on the end so I can grab it and pull this out of there very easily. But what I did in addition to this, I said, well, we got all that popsicle sticks, is just like it. This, you know, bare wood, chintzy yardstick material. But this is a sturdy cloak board now. I put Gorilla Tape on here just for I did it for protection, basically. I figured it would give it some moisture protection. You know, these aren't going to be in that long. I'll run 15 cells. I'll run 15 cells, and once I capture 15 cells and put my incubator, you know, if it's only on there about 5 or 6 days, 7 days at the most, this cloak board, until I get those cells sealed, this is coming out. Those cells are going in that incubator. And when I want to run another 15, I'm only going to run 15 at a time. And I will put this back in and set this colony back up and put it back in queen cell production mode. So that's it. Very cheap cloak board. Now, this is for the 8 frame. I'm going to build one, Gary, Florida Cracker Gary, he gave me a couple of 10 framers. And I'm going to build another cell builder. I'm going to have them sitting side by side. Probably never need that many, but who knows how industrial strength I will get here with queen production. Because I'm just making queens. I'm not making queens to sell. I'm making queens to fill nukes. So anyway, that's what's going to happen. Martin also gave me four of these stainless discs, and I'm going to put these two. I put two on my other 8-frame cell builder. These two are going to go on the 10-frame cell builder. Okay, you got to have one on front and back. So these little discs, I don't think the plastic discs that I got coming, I don't think are much bigger than this. I think they were two and 3/4 diameter. I think that's about what these are. And so these will be going on, but I've got 32 of them coming in 12 different colors. So when I sell a nuke and then one of these nukes happen to have one of these on it, those colored discs, it's coming off, and I'll move it to the next box. Granted, they're only probably a quarter a piece, but still, it keeps me. All I have to do when I sell a nuke is staple a piece of 8th screen across that entrance. And when they get home, they open it up, take the screen off, and let them fly, right? So I will retrieve them plastic color-coded nuke entry things. So that's kind of good. You can buy those. I think I paid 11 and change Amazon Prime for 32 of them plastic ones. So anyway, that's it. I just thought I'd show you a little quickie trick on this cloak board. It'll work. It looks chintzy, flimsy, but it'll work fine. And now I don't have, by me putting in this extra border, that extra border along here on the bottom, stapled it too, and it strengthened it up. It stiffened this thing up, see? Made a beefier rig on it. There's really no weight. I mean, you don't really need any structure to this because it's sitting on a box, and then you're putting a box on top of it, and all the weight rests here. So that's that. Also, this is masonite, cheap old masonite, really thin stuff. That it don't look more than 1/8 of an inch. And I roll wax all over this thing on both sides. And of course it got all bunched up, you know, it was just all rimpled with the wax. So I fired up the heat gun and I went over it with a heat gun, and as I heated up, started melting, I took a terry towel on a flat surface and just rubbed it in. So that thing is really impregnated good with wax, beeswax. So that's a good thing there. Okay guys, that's it for today. See you on the next one. Bye-bye.